People were living their lives with very little concern for God. They were just living everyday lives. They were eating and drinking and marrying and celebrating, and all of a sudden, what happened? It started to sprinkle. And it sprinkled. And it sprinkled. And then it really opened up. And it was a gully washer. And only Noah and his family were wise enough to listen to God's warning and seek salvation, seek a safe place. When Jesus comes again, he tells his disciples, it's going to be like that. Life's going to be going on just as usual, with people doing what they normally do. They're buying, they're selling, they're working, they're playing, they're reading, they're connecting dots to dot books, just ordinary stuff. And suddenly, without warning, Jesus is going to come back. Now when that happens, some will be ready and some won't. Some will remember Jesus' admonishment to be ready for the coming of the kingdom. But some, they won't remember. And other things will have become much more important to them. The return of the Lord will not be a priority in their lives. Those folks who have forgotten, or those folks who disbelieve, will be greatly disappointed when that day comes. Do you hear what Jesus is saying? The disciples asked about the timing of the second coming, and Jesus said, buddies, that is the wrong question. Your question should be, what are you supposed to be doing in the meantime? What are you supposed to be doing until I come back? And that's the way it is with us, friends. The important thing for us in this season of Advent is not when he's coming back, but what are we doing while we're waiting for him to return? Too many, so many folks, focus their attention and their energy on when Jesus is coming again. Some Sunday morning, stay at home, not very often. Or do it before church, that's even better. Turn on your TV and go do a little bit of channel surfing and see, what's on there. And I'll guarantee you're going to find at least one, and probably more, evangelists who will tell you quite convincingly that this is the time that Jesus talked about in the scripture, that the world's going to end any day now, and you better be ready. And you know what? That televangelist just might be right. But I have to doubt. I have to wonder if those folks who claim to speak for God have read that warning that Jesus gave to his disciples that we read in Matthew's Gospel. Most often what is missing from their pronouncements of coming doom and gloom and judgment is a reminder that our concentration isn't to be on the future. Our concentration is to be right now, today, on the quality of life that each one of us lives, for what we do to enhance the kingdom here on earth. Jesus doesn't call us to be passive. Jesus doesn't call us to do nothing while we wait. Jesus says to his disciples, Jesus says to us that the way we live together in the world as Advent people is serious business. And he calls us to an active faith. Isaiah, did you hear his words? He said those words way before Jesus when he said, O house of Jacob, come, let us walk in the light of the Lord. Friends, walking is not passive. That's why we wear Fitbits, so we can see how active are we? How much are we doing? And there it is, right on our wrist. Well, you know what? A little bit of self-examination, honest self-inventory, tells us how active we are. Yeah, Advent does invite us to look to the future, but its most demanding challenge and its most exciting promise comes to us in the announcement that the present day that we live in, right this minute, is kingdom time too. The incarnation, big theological word, God coming to us in human flesh, says that the cup of the present is filled and overflowing with the presence of God if we will allow it. Whether we consider the present to be sunny and bright, whether we consider the present to be partly cloudy, or whether we consider the present to be dismal and gloomy, God sends the Messiah, Jesus Christ, to come to life here in the present. In other places in Matthew, God describes the gift of the season of Advent with one single word, one that we talked about during Wednesday night Bible study back a month or so ago. It's my favorite of all the words for Christ. Emmanuel, God with us. Present tense. Not God has been with us. Not God will be with us. But God with us right now, today, here in our midst, here in our lives. So, all of the decorations are up, and the candles are in the window, and the poinsettias are in place. The first candle, it's been lit. We can sing a song. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. But the question I'll leave you with this morning is, are we ready for Christmas yet? I don't think so. You want to know why I don't think so? That's why there are 4 Sundays in Advent. You didn't get ready for Thanksgiving in one day. You're not going to get ready for Christmas in one day. So, let's get going. Let's join our hands. Let's join our hearts. And let's go together. You remember Jackie Gleason? And what did he say? And away we go. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our hymn of commitment, our hymn of decision, is number 431. Go, my children, with my blessing, 431. Let's stand together as we sing.